Hushed reverence clung to the air, thick and expectant, within the venerable walls of the museum. Sunbeams, slanted and golden, pierced the high-ceilinged galleries, illuminating dust motes dancing in silent celebration. It was a world governed by unspoken rules, a sanctuary of whispers and footsteps softened by ancient carpets. Then, like an unwelcome ripple in a still pond, a new visitor entered, her energy a stark contrast to the space's solemnity. Almost immediately, a uniformed attendant, his face a mask of gentle but firm authority, approached her side. His voice was a low, resonant murmur, filling the quiet space between them. "Please," he began, his tone soft but unmistakable, "observe the quiet. The museum requires silence to be properly appreciated." The visitor blinked, a flicker of confusion crossing her face. "Quiet?" she echoed, her voice carrying a little too loud in the sudden stillness. "Oh, yes. Quiet. Okay." She nodded vigorously, perhaps a touch too enthusiastically. Don't make a noise," she muttered, adjusting her bag and glancing around with newfound, slightly frantic, caution. They moved deeper into the exhibition, the attendant acting as a silent guide, his presence a constant reminder. His voice returned, barely a whisper, cutting through her own thoughts. "Apologies, but no flashes. It can damage the exhibits." "Oh. Flashes. Right. No flashes." Okay, she stammered, fumbling with her camera, hastily switching off the flash function, her movements slightly jerky with the effort of compliance. Just as she seemed to regain her composure, another instruction was softly issued. "And please, no photographs in this particular gallery." "Okay, no photos." "Got it." Okay, she agreed, finally seeming to grasp the specific rules, perhaps a fraction too loudly in her affirmation. "Are you ready to proceed?" the attendant asked, his gaze steady. "I'm ready," she said, a touch too quickly, perhaps seeking his approval. Then, impulsively, her finger hovered over the camera button. "Oops," she breathed, then corrected herself immediately. Don't take pictures. No photos, right?" Her cheeks flushed slightly, a mix of embarrassment and the struggle to absorb the rules. The soft hum of background music seemed to swell momentarily, almost mockingly, before subsiding into the respectful silence of the space. They rounded a corner, passing beneath a wrought iron archway. A sturdy wooden bench stood beneath it, vibrant with a fresh coat of deep crimson paint. The paint itself seemed to gleam, drawing the eye. "The bench," the attendant warned, his voice a quiet thread of concern. "It has been recently painted." "But I'm tired," the visitor murmured, looking longingly at the inviting seat. "I want to sit on it." "Don't," the attendant said softly but clearly. Don't sit on it. The paint is still wet. It would ruin your clothes." No, I understand. Don't sit." "Okay," she acquiesced, though the weariness in her posture remained evident. They paused before a heavy, dark wooden door set within an ornate frame, different from any other doorway in the hall. A small, discreet sign was barely visible, but the attendant didn't need it. "The room is closed," he stated simply, his hand resting lightly on the door frame as a barrier. "Closed?" she echoed, leaning in slightly, her curiosity momentarily overriding the caution. "Don't enter. Don't enter this room?" "Exactly," the attendant confirmed, his gaze unwavering, pointing out the unspoken boundary. Her eyes, however, were drawn not to the door, but to a small, ornate object placed inconspicuously on a velvet dais nearby. It was a jewelry box, crafted from dark wood inlaid with mother-of-pearl, its lid shaped like a coiling serpent, its eyes set with gleaming onyx. She pointed a hesitant finger. "What's that?" The attendant followed her gaze with a flicker of something unreadable in his own eyes before turning back to her, his expression now stern, almost saddened. "Don't touch. Stay back." But her attention was already captivated. "I found a jewelry box," she whispered, half to herself, her voice dropping involuntarily, seized by a sudden, unbidden fascination. "Stop," the attendant commanded, his voice dropping to a low, firm growl, cutting through the air and her burgeoning excitement. "Stop. Be still. Look, but do not touch. This is not for them." The atmosphere shifted again, the previous tension replaced by an almost palpable weight of warning. The soft background music seemed to swell once more, this time imbued with a strange, discordant edge, before abruptly fading into silence, leaving only the echo of the word "stop" hanging heavy in the air.